Ladies, for real, never put financial control into a man's hands. It will never end well. What is up, people? Welcome back or to another video. For those of you who are new around here, a very warm welcome. I'm Jade and I'm super grateful to have you come and join us. So yes, I am rocking the wet hair look today. It's not me trying to be cool or trying to be sexy. I just cannot fucking be bothered to dry it. So that's that. Just wanted to get that one out of the way. But more to the point, I came across this article. I've come across it twice, in fact. The first time I actually ignored it and I just rolled my eyes so far back in my head. But the second time round, I actually read it thoroughly and decided this can't go unnoticed. So I came across this article off Reddit, that am I the asshole for changing my mind about kids at 57 and leaving my girlfriend because of it? So overall, we all know the answer to this, but let's dig a little deeper and actually see both sides of the situation. And like I said, I've come across it before, just rolled my eyes, but this time I wanted to go through it properly with you guys. So she was always, as I said, she was always on the fence about children. However, I did not want children because at the time I was thinking about how much I was willing to sacrifice to start a business and how I'd resent my kids for getting in the way of that. Okay, so it starts off really cool and I'm kind of like, okay, fair enough. At least he was sure about himself and at least he was honest that he knew perfectly well that if he had kids in the middle of trying to start up a business, that he knew he would end up resenting them. But it continues. Then it was like we woke up one day and my girlfriend was 39 and I was 41 and the money finally started coming in. I felt like my girlfriend did not want to rock the boat at the point and we just wanted to enjoy the money. We traveled the world, she quit her job to volunteer for a charity and I got involved in causes too. Okay, should we talk about how, first things first, the mistake she made is she quit her job. I do not care how much money your husband or your partner, I think they were just partners, they weren't married. I don't care how much money they're bringing in and how successful they are. You do not give up your independence like that because it gives them too much ammunition to fuck you over when the time is right for them. If you're gonna quit your job, at least make sure that you have some sort of exit plan. So you have some sort of plan to either drop your hours to part-time or, you know, you wanna, I don't know, you have a safety net of some sort of savings that you're planning to work with, or you've got some sort of passive income stream. I don't know what it is. Like, don't just up and quit your job without a kind of plan. But this is where you give the other person too much control. Now, it's great that you volunteered, but girl, don't give up your independence. Seriously. I became more depressed and finally realized that if I wanted to do something about my desire to have biological kids, to see little quirks of myself reflected in my kids in a way that can only be described by biology, I needed to act now. I just find this a bit creepy. Like, come on. Like, they need your little quirks and stuff like that. It's just a bit self-absorbed. Also, there's an adoption. There's a choice of adoption. If you're too, like, old, you can adopt, but it's just this incessant need that people are like, it needs to be like me, it needs to have my genetics, it needs to look like me, it needs to act like me. You do understand that even when you have kids, there's no guarantee they're going to look or act like you. They might completely come out like your partner, or I don't know, like your mum or its aunt or uncle. You know, it's just, you know, I'm nothing like my mum. I'm not joking with you. We are literally like chalk and cheese. So don't be having kids and thinking like, oh, it's going to guarantee it's going to come out like me, because it won't. Anyway, however, I'm in my late 50s now, and I think in the back of my mind, it never registered that the door to having biological kids was closed forever. But it hit home when my girlfriend sort of in a blasé way said, well, that's the end of phantom pregnancies for me, when she found out that she was menopausal at 53. Since then, I've been in an internal crisis because everything about my life has gotten old. My life felt empty. I had worked through the emotional issues that prevented me from wanting kids, and now I desperately want a family. Like, you literally waited for your partner to go into menopause to then pull out this midlife crisis stunt out of nowhere, knowing perfectly well that, you know, she's going through menopause, she was a fence sitter, which meant she could go either way. And like, now you're just pulling all of this out. Like, how do you think that's making your partner feel? She must feel like absolute fucking shit. But also, on the other hand, as a fence sitter, she kind of she does have a responsibility to play in this as well, because as a fence sitter, it means you haven't spent enough time making a decision on whether that's a fuck yes or a fuck no for you. So you've just spent your whole life on the fence, not knowing which way you're going to go. And, you know, all this time you thought it was a no because your partner was busy setting up his business and getting that money rolling in. And now that you physically can't, now this has all happened. So it's very frustrating from both ends of it. And I kind of find that both of them irritate the shit out of me. But anyway, I just find also, let me tell you what pisses me off is when people go, when he said, my life felt empty. Sorry, like, why do people say this? You don't just wake up one morning and go, my life feels empty. Like, it doesn't happen overnight. It's not a click of a finger thing. If your life starts feeling empty and meaningless, it's usually an ongoing process. It started on X date and it's lasted a few months, weeks, you know, years. You don't just wake up one day and go, oh my God, where's my meaning? Like, this is just, I'm getting sick of hearing these stories. It's not a viable excuse as to why you want a child and why you're gonna bring a child onto the planet. You being lonely or feeling empty or meaningless, A, is not a guarantee or a reason you should have a child. And B, I'm sorry, you don't just wake up one day and have those feelings there. I do not believe anyone who says this personally. But also, why doesn't he just turn around? I would have so much more respect if this person just turned around and said, do you know what? I spent the last couple of X years, whatever it was, setting up my own business. It was really financially difficult because, you know, I invested a lot and I didn't get like a return on investment straight away. It was the wrong time to have a child. Now is the right time. Why aren't you just fucking say that instead of making this whole story about like, oh, I'm actually quite lonely now and I need a friend? Bull fucking shit. People are rinsing this guy and calling him a narcissist and everything like that. Especially when he says stuff like I want my own little quirks in them. Sorry, that's just, anyway. I'm letting her stay in my vacation house for a month so she can find her own place. The whole time she's been telling everybody I'm crazy and that I would wake up. Am I the asshole for changing my mind when my girlfriend is acting like I don't get to change my mind? Well, hang on a minute. Ladies, this is why you cannot give financial control to, well, I'm going to say a partner, but in this case to a man, because he is getting so much fucking pleasure out of saying, I'm letting her stay in my vacation house. Like, can you imagine if she had her own shit? She can literally just pack her bags and fuck off. And then you can go about trying to find someone to impregnate with your little quirks and everything. But that just made me so frigging angry. But also, I kind of found it really funny when she said she's been telling everybody that I'm crazy and that I would wake up. Well, you kind of do sound crazy, mate. Like, you've got to 57, you know, you were dead set against kids and you were like, I know it's going to be the wrong choice because I'm setting up my business and I would resent them if I did have them. Fair enough. And now suddenly you've done like a 360 and you're suddenly all like Mr. Maternal and I want my kid to have my quirks. What quirks? Like, this is a bit creepy. Like, you just want a mini you and you don't really want a child. You don't want to raise a human. You just want a mini version of yourself. Everybody in that comment section was rinsing this guy to pieces and saying like, yeah, mate, you are the asshole because, you know, your partner stood by your side for 25 years. She stood by you through thick and thin. She literally stood by you when your business wasn't doing well and you weren't financially in a good place. And now suddenly you've got all this money and this freedom and your business is going great. You're dropping the bombshell like, okay, bye, because you can't have kids anymore. We all know that, you know, as women, we do have an expiry date. I mean, don't get me wrong, everybody has an expiry date, but as women, we specifically have an expiry date because after a certain age, we physically can't have kids. So what I found really shocking about the whole story was how is it in 25 years of partnership that did you never check in with one another and be like, hey, you know that conversation we had about like we weren't sure about kids, like because the woman was a fence sitter, you know, why did you not check in and do a bit of a back and forth now and again? You had plenty of time to do it. You had 25 years. You know, did you not do a little check-in now and again? Like, oh, how are you feeling about that? All right, now's not the right time. Okay, cool. What about you? How are you feeling? Oh, I'm still on the fence, you know, I haven't made a decision. Although I do believe if someone's on the fence, it's more likely a no than a yes. Because if it was a fuck yes, you would have done it already. Like, you would have made it clear that you know, you wanted to go forward with it and have the child, right? And also I found it so ironic. There was a little clip about how he went to his doctors and it said, my doctor told me I wouldn't be the first older father. And I just think that, I think with men, where they can still, you know, fire bullets, should we say, at a bit of an older age, I still don't agree with having children at a very, very old age, like 57. It doesn't even matter if you impregnate someone and you have a child at that age and hopefully it comes out healthy. The point is, when that child is in college or university, I mean, where are you going to be? Come on, there's no guarantee you're going to be around. I mean, there's no guarantee any of us are going to be around. We all have numbered days on this planet. However, you're going to be pushing 80 when your child is barely out of university and starting their life. They still need a lot of support at that age. At 21, when they're graduating university and they're going out into the big wide world, they're maybe looking at getting their first properties, getting married, you know, finding a job, go traveling, finding their own partner. They still need your help. They still need your guidance. You know, they still need a parent. And you're going to be 80, probably more than likely in a fucking care home, and your kid's not even like got his first job yet. You know, it is hella selfish. Not just the health implications, but the fact that you might not even be around to see your kid get married or graduate university. So let me know down in the comments what you think, if you've read this story. If you haven't, let me know down below. You know I love hearing from you guys. And if you haven't already, please make sure you hit that subscribe button, give this video a massive thumbs up, and I will catch you guys in the next video. Peace out.